Hello, into the Motorsports Xfinity series. We saw that we had some major issues going on, and my apologies for that. The same thing that had happened at Texas, unfortunately. It was fine last week, but not this week. I really don't understand what is wrong with that. But we got it here for the Motorsports Xfinity Series Championship race here, live from Homestead, Miami Speedway, as we are currently on lap 14 now of 125 for the championship race in the Xfinity Series Championship. 4 drivers are almost everybody in this. Actually, everybody in this top 4 right here. Those are your 4 championship drivers. However, Jonathan Zilla has a huge points lead over the rest of these guys, and I think by the point, the fact that he showed up to race in this race, he already has the championship secured. So pretty interesting for sure. As you see, these Gates are currently out in the lead with Jeffrey Meyer right there on his side. They're going to go off the corner here. The 13 has to run on the top side. He's going to pull up a couple of turn lengths here as we take off a lap here. The 88 where Atchison on the bottom right there, underneath the 50 of Jeffrey Meyer. The bottom is a lot harder to run here, and it's not quite as fast as the top side usually. As next to that wall, you can kind of run it's a long way around the racetrack. We get that huge run off of the progressive bank. You see the 88 kind of pull a slide out right there, turns up in front of the 50 over the 50 to try to pull a crossover, goes down low, gets the run off of the corner. And so he's going to carry the momentum down straight away into turn number 1. Takes that spot right back. Oh, there's contact. He slides up in front of the 88. And 88 has no choice except for to get in the back of him. That's going to cost both of them a certain amount of time. And even a little tiny bit of damage you saw right there. Looks like, yeah, a little bit of rear damage to the 50, a little bit of left front nose damage to the 88. Nothing too bad, just a little bit cosmetic, so it should not harm them. As you see, here's the 4, John Zilla throwing off of turn 48 with the block down low. Atchison a really good runner here, currently now in 3rd. You'll see Gates pulling away here. Battle for 2nd continues. Now Zilla going to get it up here, making a 3-car battle, so he's going to try to get his way into 3rd place here. Looking to the outside of Jeffrey Meyer down the entire front shoulder. If you left the door open, but did not have enough speed quite to get into there. Oh, it looks like the 50 clipped the grass is going to slide to the track again. The grass, excuse me, an apron. That's going to cost him to slide back at the racetrack right there. Now the look at the low side of Meyer for that 3rd position. Down low, side by side, down the way. 88 has been clear, but the 50 make a crossover here. So yeah, going into this race, Jonathan Zilla had a, oh wow, actually he had a 66-point lead coming in this race. So yeah, he is secured with the championship. Jeffrey Meyer had an 11-point gap over CJ Gates, so that could change, especially CJ Gates kind of up in the lead and Jeffrey Meyer all the way back in 4th. So that means a difference right there of 3 stage points. So 3 stage points goes to the 13. That's going to limit the game up to just 8 points back. Then you calculate, yeah, so you're only 8 points back when it's all said and done after the stage 1, which should end here sometime in the near future. So we're going to wait and see what happens to stage 2. The 13 continue to have his dominance. You can see actually some right-side damage surprisingly there. on his 13 machine CJ Gates, but will we see the dominance here so far in this next stage as this stage for CJ Gates, and if that's indeed the case, as long as he can beat, quite a few. As long as he can beat the 58. Oh, the 13 CJ Gates in the outside wall. Here, Jonathan Mazzona down low with a huge run, so he's going to try to take this position away. Goes down low. For side by side down the front straightaway here, completing lap 22, excuse me. We're going to drive it in deep. So the third track just a bit. 13 going to get the run off the corner, then I think he's going to have the advantage going into turn number 3. So there's a drag race down the back straightaway, side by side. 13 again, just as a nose on him right there, but wait and see. The 4 goes down low right next to that white line. It's a good run through the corner, but not off the corner. Does not have that banking on the top side like CJ has. So CJ lead that circuit around Homestead, and now work the way now into turn number 1. We're still digging down there at the bottom, trying to do it. You don't really see too many stay side to side for this long here at Homestead. It's usually they either pull a slider or pull it in front of them, or they try to just get back in behind them and try to slip on a run, but sticking with it here, trying to stay now. It looks like the 13 has that position officially, so he'll take that position, run with it. Oh no, he puts it in the fence instead, and that will give the lead to Jonathan Mazzella. CJ Gates hitting the outside wall right there in turn 4 and adds more damage to his race car, unfortunately, and now gives it the race lead to Jonathan Mazzella, your champion here. Looking for his 9th win of the season. There's 100 laps to go now. Looking for his 9th win of the season. He has 8 on the board, which is tied with 8 on the board, tied with Justin Wilson, who each have 8 apiece. So tied for us to win this in this season and a long series, because it's the first season of the Xfinity series. So. Accomplishment for the most wins in the chart. 9 out of just 31 races. That would be absolutely amazing. But he has a whole lot of the best drivers in the series here. CJ Gates, for Atchison, Young, Jeffrey Meyer, all these people. It's really hard to do so. And basically, well, Jonathan has the championship locked up. CJ is still trying to get into second in points. And then don't look that long behind him in points, because you got the 88 right there, 1 point behind him coming into this weekend's race, and only 1 position currently behind him on track. So gap now to 2 points after the stage is complete, as long as every stays where they are currently. But it's still gonna be pretty interesting, that is for sure. Oh, Roger just hits to the outside wall. Big time. So beyond trying to the low side to get around him here. Get the run off the corner. 88 gonna have the bank in. Once again, use advantage of that, but the 38 actually seems like he's catching him here and is trying to get around him here. It seems like he has a faster car here. As you see the 88 checkup, actually, that will give the spot to Hilton Young. So it will cost Roy another championship point here, trying not to get the championship. Obviously, Jonathan Mazzella has that locked up with a, with a 58 point, excuse me, 66 point gap, plus currently leading the stage, so I'll give him another 10 bonus points. So, yeah, pretty much just has it locked up at this point in time, the way you look at it here, so there's absolutely no way that any other driver can catch him here, so 30 laps in the books. Even though, you know, 8 wins this season, has the championship locked up, he's still leading the race and still showing why he deserves the championship more than the rest of these guys. And these guys are all left to fend for themselves for 2nd through 4th positions here. Ferrari came in this race with 5,492 points. CJ Gates 5,481. So only 11 points separate those two guys. CJ currently in 2nd, and then you have Jeffrey currently in 5th. So. Like no real battles going on right now, but currently the 4 machine out to a 1.3 second lead, pretty comfortable lead for the driver of the number 4 machine. A pretty clean car, but it looks over here. I don't see any damage on that Repsol Chevrolet Camaro. Currently in 3rd, not part of the championship for to really, he's not able to gain any positions as far as points go, so he's locked into 5th place in points, so definitely not bad by means. That's the closest guy behind him, Jimont, who is not in this race, along with Chase Berry, also not in the race. Oh, we got a caution. I think that is for the stage. This is around 35. And yeah, that is indeed stage number 1 in the books, and that will go to driver of the number 4 machine, Chad Lozelle, your already secure champion here. Need to pick up more points. That doesn't matter a whole lot, but so that'll bring these guys down pit road and set us up for another run here. I'm sure some of these guys really wanted that. Struggling there on the low tires. Have a 13 machine, a lot of damage. The 88, a lot of front damage. 50 with some right side damage. So. Take a look now at your stage results here. Brazil picks up the stage victory. CJ Gates 2nd, Hilty on 3rd, Roy Atchison 4th. Jeffrey Meyer runs out your top 5. Michael Della Sella in 6th. Eric Reinhardt, Taylor Khan not in the race, did not start the race, but in the session, 7th and 8th technically, if that's the way you want to look at it. It sounds like 50's moving on a field. These guys are gonna use the access road or pit or entrance road, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to head into pit road here, all led by the number 4 machine of Jonathan Mazzella. I come in the first section, a pretty big gap between 2nd and 3rd right here. So it looks like the 38 sputtered on gas, and that'll cost him that 3rd position. He's actually going to have to toe to pit road, which might cost him a lot of time here, unfortunately. So tough break for him. Meyer also rolling at coasting, and these guys were probably really close on gas as they're going to head now into their pit stalls. Looks clean. Everybody got the pit stall pretty nice here. We're going to wait to see if the 13 and the other guys who've gotten on the outside wall take the opportunity to fix their cars, and that's like exactly what's going to happen here. The 50 and the 13 gonna come in here, probably fix their cars quite a bit. The 13 is gonna fix his car. You see the front damage, not quite as bad. Changes the tires, drops the jack, and goes away. 50 machine actually is not that much race damage, but looks of it. Looks like he's gonna get some of it fixed, however, and he's gonna probably get going here very shortly. 88 Roy Atchison, drag race. 50 has won it. 38 continuing to tow there, unfortunately, but I'm going to take you under the first caution flag of the night here tonight from the Atchison Xfinity Series. Season finale, race number 31 from Homestead. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome live to the Atchison Xfinity Series live here from Homestead, Miami Speedway. Race number 31, Season 1 finale here at this lovely track here in Miami for us. Pace car is in. These guys set to go back. Green flag now. Green flag is waved. Restart is underway. Forza Mazzola even with a 13 across that finish line almost. They now work their way into turn number 1. The 4 has the advantage on the low side. Which pulls away by 3/10 already now. That's at 38, holding on 5 finish towing and going to come on track here, unfortunately. That's going to cost them a lot of track position here, and actually now 2 laps as well, so that's quite unfortunate. So you ran a fuel coming down pit road. Now Roy Atchison all over the rear bumper now of CJ Gates. But Jeff Meyer also right there behind him, so these guys kind of all group of their own melon in a second here. Okay, Hilton on the lap car now on the inside down there. Right here. Sign down for third, 88 and a 50 machine. Right here. Still side by side. Going into turn number 1, it looks like the outside rule rail is Jeffrey Meyer going to get the run off of the banking, and will clear Roy Atchison now for that 3rd position. Oh man! 88-year-old Atchison really pushed in that, trying to get underneath the 50, and the 50 tried getting underneath the 13 at the same time. It got pretty sketchy for sure, but looks like the 13 will hold off the 50 for now. The 50 will hold off the 88, so. You know, these guys are battling for second in points. They cannot get to the championship leader, John Gazella, / race leader, but they can, however, fight each other for second, as 11 points was the gap after that stage. It's now down to just 8, so if this stage goes well for G Gates and he can finish well, it'll be good to go, but right now, Drift Now will put himself in front of that 13 machine. Half a second currently. Different mind, I should really name Jonathan Zilla here. Continue to take off some more laps. By complete lap 50 here. So we're getting closer and closer to halfway. Jeffrey Myers reeled in Jonathan Zella here. You see diving in down low here on the low side underneath the 4 of Jonathan Mazzella. They just kind of got a little bit bunched back up together here. Still a Ford machine out front. Yeah, I believe we have about 11 laps to go in this stage. I'm guessing lap 6 will finish lap 35. I guess stage 2 will probably finish in lap 70. So. I believe this time by mark 10 laps to go in stage number 2. Start on pole. It's currently in that same position. You see the pass for second now, so CJ Gates can move on up into second. There's a handful of laps left in stage number 2 here. However, at least we don't have the fuel issue because of the fact that stage 1 went into, stage 2 with a caution and everything. They can pretty much make it the rest of the way on fuel without having to deal with that fuel issue that last time where the 38 ran out of gas and 50 was running out of gas coming up the road and whatnot. So at least that is, of course, a good thing. C38 down at 13 seat gates, but again, not 4 positions. Doesn't really count. That's already just run their own pace here. Less than 5 laps to go now in stage number 2. And still at 3/4 of a second lead over second place CJ Gates. Less than 2 laps to go now in stage number 2 here. Final lap of stage number 2 for the former Shiana, Jonathan Zola. CJ Gates looks like he'll pick up second. Different Meyer, Roy Atchison. And then, of course, Hilton Young being 1 lap, excuse me, 2 laps down.
Caution's out.
There's the stage caution. That'll do it.
One time, real quick.
Stage number 2. And the result picks up the stage win. CJ Gates going to come second. Different Meyer third. Roy Atchison fourth. Hilton Young fifth. Lucadell Satellite sixth. Again, Reinhardt and Terry Collins seventh and eighth, technically. Head down pit road here for another round of pit stops. The formation off the road first, 13 to 50, so it looks like the same order for now. So it looks like Atchison actually stayed out under the caution. Not quite sure why that was a thing, but Rush didn't run out, head down pit road. I think you guys should set out just to try to get a maybe some laps, get some bonus points. Now it looks like it will be 1 to green this time by, so we're gonna go back green this time by. And set off for stage number 3. Pace car right on pit road here for the start of stage number 3.
Green flag.
The green flag is out. Back away here in the 3rd team with an amazing restart where we may have jumped it. She might not be in a penalty here. Looking now at least the way of 50 laps to go here from Homestead. I guess this is not going to get a penalty from that. So Gates found himself in the race here, but not ahead by that much over Jeffrey Meyer, who's coming right there in 2nd. John Mazzella coming out in 3rd. But I think we'll be saving his tires. Actually, where is John Mazzella? Oh, there he is. I guess he's just has some connection issues, unfortunately. So they set up front stretch right now for the race lead. She Gates on the low side of Jeffrey Meyer now for the race lead. It's a side by side down that front straightaway here. Jeffrey Meyer though will take that position and hold on to it, but John Lozelle right there behind his guys, sitting third, looking for this race lead. Was leading before that stage caution came out, and then pulled back a little bit on the restart. But again, he could be saving tires, so we'll wait to see how the strategy plays out. Young back when we lap, so he's now officially in fourth position, battling for position with these guys. Having a great run currently in that fourth position. Currently having to hold off Hilton under for that position while trying to get around. So Gates currently in second. As next time Bauer mark 40 laps to go here. And a full machine of Jonathan Mazzella underneath CJ Gates for that position. Does not look like he has big enough a run to complete the pass. Actually not able to get side by side, though. The 13 has to check up. So he gets tight right next to that wall. So now Hilton has moved up, Jonathan Mazzella has moved up into second place, while Hilton battles side by side with CJ Gates for third. So the 13 is going to hold that position for now on the high side. Jonathan Mazzella moves up into second place and puts the sights on the driver of the number 50 machine, Jeffrey Meyer here. 13 though, going to try to get around the 4 machine. Looks like he'll really do so. This is the 4 kind of actually let him go right there. He kind of saw him check up right there coming out of turn 4. CJ Gates still trying to hold off Jonathan Mazzella. However, while they're still battling, surprisingly, they're actually both catching Jeffrey Meyer here in the 50 machine. And now CJ Gates looking for the race lead on the driver of the number 50 machine. And to send it in deep, takes that position away as the 50 jumps off the 4. And I think they're going to try to fight back on the low side, but he's going to run up the racetrack. And we're side by side. Here was the 4 of Jonathan Mazzella. Where does he go? Almost made contact with the 50 machine, but he's looking to the outside of Jeffrey Meyer. Now side by side through turns number 1 and 2. Trying to get the run on the outside here. He should get to the outside coming off the corner. Oh, he gets tight though as he check up. And that will cost him some time right there. As now he's going to fall in line behind the driver of the number 50 machine. And these guys will probably have to pay here. They only went 35 laps in the first stage. A lot of guys running out of fuel, so we're going to have to wait and see how exactly the fuel strategy works out here. Is they're going to probably have to pit, believe it, on a lap 110 is my guess here. But we might see people come down earlier just because of the fact that they can split this final stage up in half, pit once and only once, and basically make it work from there on out. So. Now the 4 machine down low on the 50, trying to get around him. Looks like he will be able to take that position away. He's got a clear coming off turn number 4. He's up in front of the number 50. That's just to say it's back on the 13. You see the Gates. This top 3 is shuffling around quite a bit. But that looks like it is mostly sorted out. 50 kind of burning his tires up more than the 13 and the 4 machine. So. Now just have 30 laps to go from Homestead. You know, up front, the 4 machine of Jonathan Mazzella has caught the driver of the number 13, Budweiser Camaro. At this point in time, Jeffrey Meyer has officially picked up 2nd place in points. CJ Gates, even if he won the race, we're not going to make it. Oh, speaking of that, he clips the wall. He's going to lose a lot of time. Loses the race lead. Loses 2nd place. And loses 3rd place to Hilton Young. Costly mistake for CJ Gates from the race lead. Goes all the way back to 4th now. He's trying to play catch up once again. So now that puts Jonathan Mazzella in the race lead here, en route to his 9th win of the season. And what it is, almost like his 6th win of the 6th win straight. One last week at Phoenix, one week before that at Texas. It's Hilton Young's on the apron for some reason. Shows that out about. Anyway, CJ's gonna get around him right there, but yeah. So won the last 2 straight weeks. Week before that, we were officially at. I remember here. I think we're at Kansas for the victory, so that is 3 straight wins. And I forget what was people for that. Maybe couldn't have been Dega. But yeah, definitely on a hot streak. That is for sure here. Whichever other number 4 machine. Started off winning Atlanta the 2nd race of the season. Did not race much of the season. Came back at Darlington the first chase race and had to pick the victory there. Went to Indianapolis, won there. Went to Las Vegas, down to the race, but got beat by Jeffrey Meyer just on a fuel strategy. So he ended up finishing in 3rd. Went the week after at Richmond, won there, and it's been a winning tear since, winning every single race since then. So absolute hot streak for Jonathan Mazzella, and that's going to lead him to the championship here, the very first champion ever in NASCAR for Xfinity Series. So this time by over 25 laps to go. I'm for these guys to come down pit road here sometime in the near future. In a few, well, here goes the 4 machine already, Jonathan Mazzella. I told you. He's actually going to head down pit road here. Also, see Gates will follow the young Looks like he's actually going to stay out on the racetrack here. And Jeff Meyer is actually already down pit road, so he actually pit a lap before these guys, it looks like. So he's going to roll off pit road now as you see the 4 and the 13 machine both come down onto pit lane. So now that this whole thing is cycled through, it puts Jeff Meyer now in the race lead at 1 lap of fresher tires. Gained him this much time here, and just a good pit stop overall. Now puts himself in the race lead here, trying to hold off Jonathan Mazzella and CJ Gates. At the end, not that far back either, where Atchison still actually out on the racetrack, but still needs a pit. So, it'll be pretty interesting to see how long until he decides to finally come down pit road now. So, Jonathan Mazzella trying to reel in Jeff Meyer here. 20 laps to go from Homestead. He's going to sled on the racetrack a little bit, continue to burn his tires out just a bit. It's allowing the 4 machine to catch him here. Now he moves down the low side, Jonathan Mazzella. Down low comes the 4 of Jonathan Mazzella. Looks like he might be able to take the race lead away from Jeffrey Myers. It's close. He gets clear. Now see Gates right there behind him. Jonathan Mazzella. Oh, almost contact going into turn number 3. The 50 dives it way down low. He clips the apron and slide back up the racetrack. And now the 13 is a checkup for the 50. Gets a little bit of contact. Turns him sideways. That purpose lets Jonathan Mazzella run away with that now. I don't think they're able to catch him in time here. Unless the 4 starts slowing down here. Oh, over second now. So he gets underneath Jeffrey Meyer for that position. Atchison. Now looks like he's actually gonna finally head to pit road now. So he had all those laps by staying out. But 9 laps in total. But now he's gonna get the race lead to head to pit lane. Jonathan Mazzello will pick up the lead officially now as he was battle for second. Continues to have some contact. 50 up a little bit in the door of the 13, but nothing too harsh. Should easily continue on here. So now 13 will officially clear the 50 of Jonathan Mazzello, Jeffrey Meyer. However, we're coming to just 15 laps to go, and he only has, and he still has a half second to try to reel in the guys in the fastest car all day, the 4 machine of Jonathan Mazzello. So it's extremely hard to do. But it's not impossible, that's for sure. So basically we have to wait and see here. 15 laps to go from Homestead. Can that 13 machine reel in the 4 of Jonathan Mazzello? Off turn number 4 to that first straightaway. 14 laps to go now. But it's 4/10 of a second, so you're reeling in by about a tenth there. The 13 machine. The question is the 4 saving their tires? Saving his tires still with this many laps to go. You're still going to want those tires for the longer part of the stint. 14 laps to go does not seem like a whole lot, but in comparison, it really is quite a bit. Now down to just 3/10 of a second. As the Gangster runs away at the racetrack. Almost put in the outside wall right there. Not going to cost them 3/10, now 4/10. So he's going to fall back 7/10 of a second now behind. Jonathan Mazzello is not going to be very good in trying to reel him in. He was catching a little bit, gave him a 2/10 on him, but now he's continuing to fall back as that mistake was made. 13 laps to go, coming to 12 this time by. We're just going to have to wait and see exactly what happens. Also, quick reminder, this weekend is Veterans Day. That is actually tomorrow, Veterans Day is. That's why 13 machine in a picture of paint scheme here. Fortunately, it doesn't look like anybody else is. But it's still pretty cool to see that at least. I thank all our veterans who serve this country. Make us free. Without them, we can't have races like this. Things like this at all. But 13 machine now. Of CJ Gates. Knows what lies ahead of him. 8/10 of a second ahead is this 4 machine. Points that matter this question. It's just the race win. You know, this is already the finishing decisions. It's going to be Jonathan Mazzello, Jeffrey Meyer, CJ Gates, and Atchison as far as points go. But they want to finish this race. And first, we want to close out the season on top. And 13 knows he's going to put it in the fence. And it's going to cost them more time and damage his car more. It's going to hurt the handling more and more and more every single time he does that. So 10 laps to go now. I don't think it's going to be possible for CJ Gates to catch Jonathan Mazzello and pass him in order to win this race. Especially now with all that damage, unfortunately. So looks like he's officially out of the question at this point in time with a 4 series mistake. So 9 to go now from Homestead. He's returned back on the track. He pitted for fuel, but for some reason came back down pit road and went 4 laps down, currently in 5th. Not quite sure what exactly happened to him, but Jeffrey Meyer, 3.4 seconds behind your race leader, currently in 3rd. Young also not close enough to make any noise here. So the only threat at all to Jonathan Mazzella is his 13 machine, but 8.5 9 tenths of a second. It's a pretty good gap when you have a clean car. They don't, and you've proved that you're the fastest car all day, and you're running out of laps. Only 7 laps to go this time by. However, that 13 machine did gain some time here. Reel them in about a 10th that lap. I'm going to monitor that and see if you can close the gap a little bit more. It's in the low 7/10ths of a second now. Looks like about 6/10, 7/10, so it's catching him a little bit, about a 10th a lap or so, which actually was 6 laps to go and only 6/10 back. This could get very interesting, that is for sure. What does the 13 machine have for this four? He's going to lose another 10th right there, unfortunately. I don't think that's going to be enough. I do not foresee him being able to catch Jonathan Mazzella here and getting that position away from him. Running out of laps this fast. I mean, he gained back the time he lost, and then some actually. This is down back to the low 6/10 of a second. Oh, yeah, at the wall again though, unfortunately. Oh, he's gonna spin it sideways. He saves it, but yeah, that will officially not give him any chance. I'm trying to get this race win, basically. So 4 laps to go now. Jonathan Mazzella en route to the championship, which he already had secured before he even started this race, but icing on the cake, might as well. Two laps to go now from Homestead. It's 3 more miles for Jonathan Mazzella to round out the season with a total of 9 wins. Notice if anybody beating out Justin Wilson, who he thought was going to be the championship favorite. Tillerson and his 4 machine came in and started winning races left and right, and the 58 faded, and I guess ended up quitting. Final lap here from Homestead. 8 seconds. Absolutely no pressure from behind for Jonathan Mazzella on this final lap here. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time in this season. Coming off of turn number 4, your season 1 champion, Jonathan Mazzella, pick up the race win and the championship trophy as he crosses that finish line. And he will win here from Homestead. He's going to pick up the championship here and do some celebratory Donuts for sure on the first stretch here for his 9th win on the season. Gonna burn him down here, championship style from Homestead. Puts it off in the grass. Oh man. Oh. Gotta make sure that car passes inspection, right? That's what they always say, huh? There it is. Burns him down. And now we're gonna talk with your championship winner here, Jonathan Mazzella. Got a camera there, Jonathan?
Yes, sir, I do.
So, Jonathan, you came in the race already secured with the championship based off of how many points you had in total compared to second place. But you still managed to come out on top with the victory, your 9th win on the season, most of anybody. So definitely a very deserving championship. Let's talk about being the first champion of this brand new league and series. And let's talk about the road it took you to get here. And, of course, finally the race here and as a whole and how you were able to pull the victory.
Yeah, well, the race was awesome. It was pretty racy. Everybody was giving each other room, but there was still stakes. And, it was pretty fun to race. The whole season went by real good. I can't wait to expand the league and move on to next season. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and of course, talking about next season, obviously, I know I mentioned this kind of last week, but the dramatic change from Xfinity cars to Cup cars, it's not a huge change overall if you think about it, but definitely a very different car to drive. You got digital dash, you have it's heavier, aerodynamics are totally different. So a lot of different changes you're gonna have to adapt to as you go on as the reigning champion of the series. So different tracks we're going to as well. We're knocking out some tracks out of the schedule, going to some brand new ones. So just talk about your thoughts on next season and how you obviously want to perform and how you think you're going to perform compared to this season.
Well, I think this season we learned a lot. We learned a lot about each other. We've all become friends. And I think we're all going to help Roy with the recruiting for next season. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to get about 25 cars in here next season. But we'll see what we do.
Certainly, and sounds good for sure. And you mentioned the race as a whole. You won both stages, but it did not come super easy. It definitely seemed like the 13, the 50. It seems like almost everybody in this race really had a lot to really give you a run for your money for sure. We saw you kind of guys starting to lead back and forth.
I can't help but laugh every time it happens.
Some of you guys saving tires compared to others, and definitely a lot of strategy going on there in the first sort of stage. It seemed like the first stage, you guys were kind of close on fuel. So a couple guys ran a fuel kind of pit road. Just stuck with the first stage especially, but the race as a whole with the 50 and the 13, the battle you guys pretty much had all race long.
The first stage was a lot of fun. I actually feel like it had a little aero push. I felt like when I got behind someone, it wanted to push more than when I was out front. So the second stage, I led a lot of it, and it felt really good. But the first and third stage, it was felt like I was pushing a lot more, so I just had to back off on tires.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on winning the race, and more importantly, the championship here, the first ever champion of the Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series. I'm sure you want to give some special shout-out sponsors and thank yous that you brought you home to not only the win here tonight, but again, the championship as a season as a whole.
First off, I want to thank Roy and Atchison Motorsports for putting this on, Adriana, his wife, for helping out, Lucas Cram for broadcasting every week. I don't know what I'm going to do on Sunday anymore. I'm going to be bored. I have to find something to do until the next season starts. But it was a lot of fun, and thanks to all my competitors. They've all been friends to me, and I've made a lot of good friends.
Yeah, certainly, and I appreciate your time here, and as always, again, congratulations on the win here, Jonathan.
Have a good night. See you next season.
You too. That was your champion here tonight, driver of the number 4 machine, Jonathan Mazzella, winning 9 races on the season, the most out of everybody, and now he'll burn home with the championship trophy after tonight, leading 69 laps in total of the 125 completed here. Now, second place driver, CJ Gates in the number 13 machine. As I want to get him into the broadcast booth here. Got a cover there, CJ?
Yep, got a copy, buddy.
So, CJ, you rounded off in second place here in the race, and I believe you finished third overall in the point standings here in the championship standings. But overall, great race for you. You were contention to win there most of the time, and in a battle between you, the 50, even the 38, and the 4, obviously, and 88 a little bit in there as well. It seemed like a lot of you guys are actually kind of the same level playing field for much of the time, and then of course that final stage, the one and only green flag pit stop of the race, definitely changed things up a little bit, and you kind of challenged, and then kind of struggled on a little bit, but stuck with the race as a whole, and your overall impressions of the season, and thoughts on, of course, next season going over to the Cup cars.
Well, the season itself was awesome. It was a lot of fun, ups and downs, obviously. You know, didn't have the best start to the season, missed some key opportunities, but this race itself was challenging. It's not my favorite track, but Jonathan's helped me out a lot as far as giving me advice on how to run it. Fun racing, a lot of fun racing. You know, I gotta say, it was a fun season for sure.
Absolutely, and again, going on, I asked Jonathan about this, and he said that it's gonna feel a lot different being in the Cup cars next year. It's definitely made a new challenge for all these guys that have gotten used to the Xfinity cars for 30 races in this season. Obviously obviously different handling and whatnot. There's a lot of different changes from the Xfinity car to the Cup car. It's kind of amazing how many changes there really are. And obviously the tracks are scheduled completely different. Some tracks are not going to be running like Iowa and those. And you got some tracks like Sonoma that we were running and whatnot. So let's talk about the thoughts on season 2 as you look forward. Good season 1 and you look on to try to build on that with season 2 and obviously the difference with the schedule and cars.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the Cup cars are a little more of a monster to handle. Excuse me. But it's not like we haven't been practicing. We've been running those cars too, so we'll be ready when season 2 starts. So I look forward to it. I'm ready for I wish it would start next week. I'm gonna be bored next week.
Yeah, it seems to be the case with both you and Jonathan. But anyway, any shout-outs, thank yous, and sponsors. I want to thank you not only to a second place finish, but as a season as a whole.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Paparazzi Jewelry, Atchison Motorsports, LCTV, you up in the booth, Steven, help me out up there. You guys do a good job. Roy and his wife, they do a lot for us. It's pretty cool. Fun season. Appreciate everybody for being a part of it. It's good stuff.
Certainly, and as always, congratulations on second, and have a good night.
Thanks, buddy. You too. Have a good night.
That was a driver of the number 13 machine of CJ Gates, as he runs it off in second and third overall in the point standings. And to talk with the driver of the number 50 entry here, Jeffrey Meyer, running off in the podium spot here in third in the box booth now. Jeffrey Meyer, got a copy.
Yep.
So Jeffrey running off with a solid third place finish, leading 22 laps here tonight from Homestead. But overall, definitely a contender all race long, and definitely proving why you finished off in second in points here tonight. So run-out finish for the first season of this league. Just talk about the race as a whole, with the whole battle there. The 3, 4, 5 of you guys really were on contention all race long. To the screen for pit stops kind of changed things up a little bit, shook it up, and obviously fell behind a little bit. But not only talk about that, but obviously the season as a whole. This is the season finale. Got a couple wins on the board, and talk to us about your thoughts on the season and the race.
It was a good season. A couple guys just a little better than me at times, but it was fun racing. Made me work a little bit harder.
Yeah, and obviously, biggest note change from this season to next season, the change in the car running the Gen 6 Cup car instead of the Xfinity cars, and A couple tracks changed here and there. Schedule similar, but a little bit changed. We're running, I think, a couple more races as well. Instead of 31, we're running 36. So it's gonna be a little bit different. Thoughts on next season and what you guys have been doing to try to prepare for that, and what you look forward to the most.
I'm not going to make next season.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, anyhow, any special shout outs? Thank you, sponsors. Want to thank you that brought me home to a second run up finish in points and third place overall in tonight's race.
Thanks. Thanks to you guys for putting on a show. You do a good job. Sim racing, speed shops, diabetes awareness, and paparazzi jewelry. Thanks to them for helping with the league and sponsoring and all the work that they do. Roy for putting on the league. It's been a good season. Uh, it's been a lot of fun working with everybody and racing with everybody all season.
Yeah, certainly. And again, I think you got a couple wins overall in the season. It's a good season for you, running up in points. Congratulations on a very successful season, and have a good one.
Thank you.
That was the number 50 machine, Jeffrey Meyer. So let's take a look now at getting a word in with Roy Atchison, league owner, and fourth place overall in points. So the number 88 machine with now. Got a cover there, Roy?
Sure do, buddy.
So Roy running off in fifth place in the race, not 4 laps down. Led 9 laps as a whole and finished it off in fourth in points after the season's all done and over with. But most importantly, championship 4 came in this race. Jonathan Fitch had the championship locked in, and unfortunately for you, looked like it was going to be a good race. Not sure what kind of issues you had there that knocked you so many laps down as you were leading at one point, staying out for a little while there. But talk about the race as a whole. It seems like you were definitely really, really fast overall, being a top 5 contender and being a top 3 contender at many moments. Talk about the race as a whole, season as a whole, obviously, and what your thoughts were as the league owner, the guy who manages everything.
Well, it's been one hell of a season, that's for sure. I'm just glad it's over. Now we can move on to the Cup Series, and really proud of my guys. Even though the top 3, they're very stand-up guys. We had some good ups and downs. We got them worked out. Now let's just hope we have a better next year season.
Yeah, and obviously, again, repeating myself, it seems like here with these interviews, but the Cup Series cars, Gen 6, more powerful, heavier, difficult handling Cup cars compared to these Xfinity cars, which seem to be so popular in the sim. Talk about the difference there and those changes, of course, how you feel, the season will go as a whole, and obviously a little bit different schedule. Got 5 more races instead of 31. We go for 36, and we cut out some tracks like Road America, Mid Ohio, Iowa. We go to some like Sonoma and others. So talk about the overall schedule as a whole. How you feel like the racing will be, and what you're looking forward to most for next season.
Well, I'm just looking good forward to the higher car count. I'm really decent with the Cup cars, so I think you'll see me towards the front. I mean, not to be blunt, but yeah, I like the Cup cars better than I do the Xfinity cars. They're more of a looser car. They're heavier, but they're faster, and people just got to give and take, and just gonna have to learn to drive the cars because they're gonna be hard to do that. So because the cars are fast. They're not this little horsepower, these cars. So we'll just have to see what happens. And of course, you're coming back next year with us, and that's a blessing.
Yeah, certainly, and I'm definitely excited to start broadcasting that mid-January. First Cup League on this broadcasting, so that'll be definitely fun to do. I'm definitely looking forward to that, of course. And I was, however, curious what exactly happened there after you stayed out, led some laps, and pitted. What exactly knocked you 4 laps down?
Well, what put me 4 laps down is I was calculating how much I had in fuel, and I thought I could make it, but they were just coming way too fast. If I would have just been able to save just a little more at the beginning, I think I would have pulled it off. But then I went in the pits. I went too fast. Then I got held there, and then I got held again for coming out of the pits too fast. So I had to pit back in. So that's what put me 4 laps down. And And yeah, it happens, man. It's racing.
Yeah, certainly, and obviously, one little thing gets you a little bit off of your nick, I guess you want to say there, and you know, things don't fall the way you want it to. But overall, it's still a solid fifth place finish, and again, fourth place in points. So a good points run for you and a season as a whole. Any shout outs, thank you, sponsors that helped you not only run this league, but also just go through the season as a whole.
Well, I just want to thank my wife for me able to do all this. I just got my 24-month subscription, so I'm good for 2 years. But yeah, that Sim Speed Racing Shop, he built my box. He'll be here Tuesday, so he got me a pretty good deal on that. And Paparazzi Jewelry, diabetes awareness, suicide awareness. Just want to thank everybody, you for broadcasting week in, week out. Jonathan, for the last few weeks, he's been working with me, and as you can see, I got some new pedals, and with his help, I think I just got me a little bit faster. I got the fastest lap time, so that was a plus.
Yeah, certainly. We're going to end the season off for sure, with, of course, momentum heading into the next season. But again, appreciate your time here, Roy. Congratulations on a solid season as a whole, and look forward to seeing you back here in January.
Yeah, you'll see me back here in January, and I'll see you on the Tuesday night league and on the Friday night league.
Certainly. Have a good one.
All right, you too, buddy.
That was the driver of the number 88 machine, Roy Atchison. As that'll do it for interviews here tonight from Homestead, and now we'll do it for the season 1 of the Xfinity series. Pretty crazy. Started back the season all the way back at Daytona, back in March. That was 8 months ago, and now we find ourselves 8 months later here, ending it off in Homestead. Absolutely amazing. I want to thank Roy first of all for helping me through the broadcast, honestly, because without this league and Roy and everybody else for looking for a broadcaster and giving me the opportunity to broadcast for them, we wouldn't be a company. And I'm so happy with the way it's started to grow here, and we're adding more leagues, adding more partners, and continuing to grow. So it's pretty crazy to be here at the end of the season. It kind of just realized it hit me, but absolutely amazing. It's just a joy, and congratulations, of course, to Jonathan Mazzella on the championship, and through the race results here for the final finale at Homestead. John Mazzella picks up the victory. CJ Gates in second, Jeff Meyer third, Hilton on fourth. Roy Atchison runs at your top 5, 4 laps down. 107 laps down, Michael De La Sala, Eric Reinhardt, Tate Khan not taking the green flag, unfortunately. They will finish in 7th and 8th position. So that will do it for us here for the Xfinity series. Now we move on to the Cup series next season. Same time, same place. I believe it starts January 27th, but I could be wrong on that. I know it's mid-January in the 20s somewhere. But yeah, so Cup Series starting then, still 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday nights, as always here on LCTV. So appreciate y'all watching throughout this entire season and the race, of course. As always, can't wait to come back here and do it again in January with different cars and back at Daytona for Speed Weeks and whatnot. Sounds definitely going to be very fun and definitely very exciting. And also, can't wait to do the broadcast on Friday night for the RC East Series as they head to another track. I'm not quite sure exactly what the schedule is for that, unfortunately. But yeah, so make sure you check it out 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday night, RC East Series. Yeah, so appreciate you watching here tonight. LCTV. Have a good night.